What is up, everyone? My name is Nakusoo, and today I will be showcasing a game about a short journey where story is the main focus and how far one will go in order to save a stranger's life. Let's do this. Journey Home, developed by Raius and released on June 8th, 2016, is a sequel to the game Home. I wasn't really sure what to expect when stumbling upon the Journey Home. The Journey Home puts you in the place of a young girl, traveling back home after her daily task of defeating demons, criminals, all while collecting the money to make a decent living. Eventually, you are greeted with a young girl, Meredith, who shares the same similarities of you being a hunter. She's on a hunt of her own of trying to defeat some demons, and as you talk to her and kind of get to know her, it kind of gets you into a comfortable position of what's to come later on, as you're greeted with the second main character, a little girl named Jinora, suffering from an infection from a demon, and this is where the main focus of the game really opens up. Through conversations, I grew to having a liking for this young girl that I met, and while the story could have been a bit more fleshed out, at least the backstory in terms of if she had parents or not, the only thing you really know is that she left the city because the townspeople were really scared of this infection and thought she was already a demon that was going to kill them and all that stuff. So that was kind of a interesting story that kind of happened, and as you are told more and more by her as the nights pass, you grow through more of a bond with the main character and also this little girl. There is a way to cure her, however, and that's kind of where the gameplay elements open up. You are greeted with some basic combat. I would say that the combat in the game is a little bit choppy, it's a little bit rough around the edges. This could be because the developer is still new to releasing these games, to developing in general. So when you get into this game, I would definitely say don't expect the combat to be like amazing or anything like that. At times the hit detection was a little bit off. The enemy types were like only 2, and it definitely was like very easy to play. Even though the times you do get hit is a little bit cheap, overall, it was a nice small diversion from the main story. It definitely adds to the feeling of trying to save this little girl's life as you progress through the story, as you kind of know more and more about her. And also she gains your trust a little bit at a time as the nights go by, and it's like there's something you really want this girl to survive this illness. These conversations that you have with her, sometimes you have to make choices, and in the end the choices don't really matter in terms of how the game turns out. I kind of would like to see maybe more of an impact on the choices that you make, kind of impact the ending of the game or other stuff that happens. There is like one thing that happens in the game later on when you make a choice that kind of changes, but it's still in the end the same outcome happens. But it's definitely a wonderful 25 to 30 minutes experience that I really enjoyed. You know, just like something different from other games where you kind of lose a bit of focus from the story elements, and this one kind of has more of an emphasis on that rather than its gameplay. If you're in the mood to play a game where the story is the main focus, while the gameplay is just something on the side to break up the bits in the story, you'll certainly enjoy this short and delightful adventure. Here is a question of the day for you. Would you help someone who is infected by a demon? For myself, I think it kind of depends on how far into the infection they are. If it's just started like Jinora, I would be more inclined to help, but I would be more wary of helping someone when they're probably like just about to turn into a demon. Although that is still something I probably can't decide unless it really happened to me. Let me know your responses in the comment section below. as I would love to hear your thoughts. If the content today did help you in discovering something new, or if you are curious to see what other games I will showcase in the future, then remember to slash that Dapper Wolf subscribe icon. As always, ladies and gentlemen, keep discovering awesome. Then remember to slash that Dapper Wolf subscribe. Wow.